still muted.
Hi, my name's Shawn Schiller. That's my friend Chris Ford, aka the Objected Geek, or the Muted One.
Me too. Yeah.
He said I'm still muted as I'm unmuting it, and so it's gonna make him sound ridiculous. But really, it's my fault. It's my fault.
That's true.
That one's on me. Welcome to Avatar: The Last Podcasters. We're on Book 3, Change, Chapter 3, The Earth Queen. And Chris, it's been a couple weeks because we record in pairs, as everybody knows. So it's been a couple weeks. How you been? What have you been up to?
I've been great. I just haven't been doing much, honestly. Just working. Reading a couple of different Avatar stuff, and trying to get back in the just in my frame of Avatar. I need to start making videos again. One of these days I will. I promise. Don't know when, but no, I'm doing great. Doing especially great because friend of the show. Maybe she's not a real friend of the show. She's an honorary friend of the show.
She's our friend. I don't know if we're her friend, but she's our friend.
That's so I just now this is like instant news. I just got this. Just talked to Janet Varney.
This is why he was laughing when we started. Is because this this happened literally now.
So it might have been our last episode that we said Janet Varney has the voice of a creative writing English teacher.
I think so. I think that was last one.
I think it was either the last one or the one before that. So, because I like to say a lot of stuff on our Twitter just to get, because it's very Avatar focused. So I tweeted out recently, one of the best things about the Braving the Elements podcast is hearing Janet Varney's voice. It's very clear, nice, supportive. We come to the conclusion that it's like the voice of a great high school creative writing teacher, which Janet clearly was in another life. So that's just what I wrote. She wrote back. She liked that. Wrote back, I love this. In an alternate universe, I feel this is happening right now.
And then in this universe, Dante Bosco's like, what assholes?
Yeah, I know. What the heck is wrong with my voice?
Come on, man.
I don't like these Avatar Last podcasters, guys.
First he's doubting Chris's facts, and we've just started a fake feud with Dante Bosco.
I know.
Well, that's like 3 tweets mentions from Janet Varney in your lifetime, Chris. That's a big deal.
She's great. She really does have the voice of a creative writing teacher. That is very supportive.
It's very clear. It's very energetic and encouraging. It makes me want to write creatively.
Yes.
Chris, maybe if you listen to enough of the podcast, you will get back into video making. When you listen to more podcasts and you finish your corner toilet fixing, and you'll be ready to make videos
Oh,
again.
I forgot to take a picture of that.
I think there's a number of people that are actually pretty interested in your corner toilet. So if you
that's two recordings from now, I'll take a picture of it.
When you say 2 recordings from now, I think you should just take the camera with you right now and go to the Don't go to the bathroom. Just literally go into the bathroom.
I don't know how clean my house is.
Just cover the camera up until you get there.
Okay, let's go. We're going on an adventure here.
I appreciate that you're taking this seriously. I'm so excited. We're all going to look at Chris's corner toilet. I know that bathroom's clean because you've been working on it.
Let's see, where am I? Oh,
his kids are probably asleep, so I bet he has to be quiet. So if he suddenly starts whispering, I got his back. Hey, for what it's worth, your ceilings look very clean.
Certain ceilings.
The title of this episode absolutely starting with Chris's corner toilet, Janet Varney, and the Earth Queen. That's the title of this episode. I just got it.
So, this is the bathroom. Right?
Oh, much different.
Right here.
In here.
You see this? You see this corner? Is it better?
No. It's very hollow and echoey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then
don't record podcasts from your corner toilet because that's incredible. Now you've
corner toilet
down just a little farther, angle down a little steeper. Remember, I cropped some of you on our corner toilet. Incredible.
Yeah.
A feat of plumbing. I feel like they should do more of those. I don't know why they don't. It seems like the corner angle allows more leg room in a small space. I totally get it.
Yeah. So there you go. There you all go. I wish I could pull up the exact person who asked for it. I forgot his name. I'm sorry. I forgot.
Theo?
It starts with a J. Theo didn't mention it. Yes.
Oh, well, Theo was just really excited about it. I don't know if he requested it specifically, but he was stoked. Well, hey, that was probably our
Because I
first
hate.
home adventure on our podcast. That's very exciting. I trying to think of if a corner toilet would help my bathroom. It would help my bathroom right now in my current situation. I'm gonna have to do some research.
It's hard to. Find. Now
Um,
I can't even get to. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. I think it was in our last video.
are
Jesus
you? Oh, you're looking
rebirth.
for comments. I thought you were trying to figure out your camera.
Nope. My camera automatically goes off when
When you're looking through screen or using the screen or whatever.
yeah.
So
But it was
while you're doing that, I have to tell you the literal two things that I've been doing in the past 2 weeks
oh
because
yes, go ahead.
they've both become a problem. Is number one, been playing Skyrim on the Switch, and in 2 weeks I think I've played like 50 hours. Now part of that was because I spent a lot of time on a plane and in an airport, so I'm going to cut myself a little slack. But also, I've really missed Skyrim. It's been a lot. It's been like 4 or 5 years since I last plugged it in, and I love it. And now it's on the Switch, so I can play more of it more of the time. And then also, I've binge watched Rick and Morty on
Really?
Hulu. Yeah, and I don't love it, but I
Joe
like it.
Prince.
I get it.
Joe
Uh,
Prince said the corner toilet I need to see now. Shout out to Joe Prince.
I hope
Anyway,
it was
keep going.
everything. I hope it was everything you imagined that it would be. No, that's really it. I just streamed it. You know, I can't think of the creative guy now. Help me out here. Dan Harmon,
Yeah, yes. Creative
obviously.
community.
Yeah, obviously big fan of Community. Huge fan. When I say big fan, huge fan. It's my top two TV shows of all time, I think. And so I finally gave it a shot, and like I don't love it, but I like it, and I totally see the appeal. It's very
Yeah.
uniquely and cleverly written. So, hey, shout out to Rick and Morty fans, at least the ones who don't pretend that there's like an IQ base level that you have to understand the show. Because I guarantee that I don't have that, and I still enjoy it.
Yeah,
That's
I've
been
tried
my
a
whole
couple
thing.
episodes and I can get into it.
There,
I mean, it might take more, but
no, season one, I think people are it's not their favorite. I think kind of 2 and 3 tend to be the most popular, but overall, I think they're all pretty well liked. I don't think it's a slow
yeah.
burn to get into. You probably do or don't. There's one episode. It's
Okay.
like episode 3 or 4. It's very early on with these Meeseeks creatures, and that probably doesn't mean anything to you. But if you're all listening out there, Rick and Morty fans, that's the one where like it did click for me, and I decided I was going to keep going. Like I was fine with it. Then I saw that Meeseeks episode where they're all trying to take strokes off of Jerry's game, and that results into they can't fulfill their purpose, so they try to murder him, because that's the only other way to take all the strokes off of his game. And that's when I was like, I'm gonna finish the show. So yeah, it took a while, but Dan Harmon, still a big fan, even though you yourself as a human are a little crazy.
Oh, since last week, how many Switch games?
Oh yeah, did anybody? I don't know if anybody guessed. Did Hoop guess?
I don't
I
think
don't know if anybody guessed.
so, but yeah.
I have 116 complete in-box physical cartridge Switch games.
That's a
116.
lot.
And I have a problem also. That's an issue. For what it's worth, I'm a big bargain hunter. I've got alerts set on my phone for a couple bargain sites. Uh, Big wish list that I hand out to all my relatives every year when they ask me what I want. I was like, only this, and it's just a list of Switch games. And in the past year or so, there's been a lot of them have been on sale at like the $20 and under mark that I would consider like very good games that have kind of been on my wish list adjacent.
You can buy games at Games HQ online now.
Where? Pardon?
Gamers HQ, your favorite
Yeah,
place.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
You can buy games online now from there.
Yeah, so they had an online
Okay.
store. I think if you sign up, you even get a $10 credit. So
Yeah.
out of Topeka people, there's a store I like called Gamers HQ, and they have an online store now with various video games of various platforms. And I think if you go sign up early, you get a $10 credit off like your first $50 purchase or whatever. So go sign up.
I'm
Support
not sure
small
if it's
businesses and all that
national. I
stuff.
mean, probably is. I don't.
I mean, it ships, so I don't think they care.
That's true. That's
It'll
true.
ship, yeah. It probably, I don't know about international, but they'll ship. So Gamers HQ. I'll look up the URL just to throw that out there. But yeah, way too many Switch games, and then most of those are even like double packs and stuff, where the first one's on the cartridge, but then they'll include the second one as a download and things like that. I'm gonna say that there's like 40 or 50 of those in there. I'm a big fan of that type. So yeah, nobody guessed. That's fine. I'll just high five to anybody who cared.
I cared.
Thanks, man. I'm gonna just for that. I'm gonna buy you Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Legacy of the Duelist, and then you're gonna play with me, and it's gonna be fun.
Okay. Okay. Real quick, I got a couple Avatar things to talk about. That's so recently this book came out. It is the Suki Alone little comic book. My quick review of it is that it's okay. Like I'm really glad that Avatar Studios is coming around because Avatar Comics is honestly getting a little stale, and these last ones, like they had the Katara and the Pirate Adventure, Toss, Metal Bending Academy, and this one, they're all like very fillerish, and they're just okay. Like it doesn't even, I feel like, really explore the characters. And there's something that happens in this book. Spoiler alert, sort of spoiler alert for this book. Really, you can't spoil this book. This takes place while she's in Boiling Rock, and so nothing that major happens. But at the end of this book, spoiler alert, which I know you don't care about spoiler alerts, Avatar Kyoshi talks to her, which racks my brain. Some like this ability that's never been shown before. That like it just calls into question canonically what the Avatar is, what the Avatar spirit is, what their spirits are.
And it's suggesting that the Avatar spirit can sort of disembody from the Avatar, like the past lives.
Yeah, like
disembody from the Avatar.
The only thing closely seen to this is Roku talking to Jong, but Aang was like right there.
He was still like present. It was just a different manifestation of Aang, kind of.
Yeah, and Jong was seeing it, and Aang didn't even really realize it. But I'm fine with that because I'm like, oh, well, Aang is still there, like the spirit's there. But at this point, Aang is like miles away from Suki, and so I'm just like, how would Kyoshi be able to? How would her spirit be able to talk to somebody else? I almost just don't even buy that it's canon, even though it's from people who I feel like work with Mike and Bryan, but Mike and Bryan
probably not much involvement in the comics at this point.
Yeah, and it's innocent enough that that's probably not a big deal, but
it's just an opinion, but I don't care for that. Especially because they don't, like, now going forward with Korra, they don't really have to like answer to it, right? It's not like they ever. I don't know. I don't care for that at all. And even Jong, you could make the case like, well, Jong's pretty spiritually connected guy. Like, could have been his own inner workings manufacturing some of that. We don't know. Maybe Katara. Katara was hallucinating, and that was what happened. Boom, hallucination.
Another thing, real quick, is that I got some new pops. I got let's see here. What do we got here? We got a Ty Lee pop. I really like this. It's very Ty Lee-ish.
She's adorable.
She's stretching. She has a very long braid. Actually, this is a really nice braid. I'm just not noticing. It's especially really good for pops. So that's
she's precious.
Ty Lee. And then we have Admiral Zhao with the moon spirit captured. He looks fine.
He looks like a little jackass. Which,
yeah.
It's holding a fish in a bag. That's a rude way to hold a fish.
I know, right? And then Fire Lord Oza.
I like it.
Which I think I really like this one. Like the Ring of Fire thing. He's like kneeling. It's very ominous. Oh, and I love this crown. I think this one's done really well.
And this is the most recent set that just came out.
Yes. Jeez. What is up with Viacom? They should have marked the bottom of this. Like,
oh, yeah.
It says 2021 Viacom International Funko LLC, Funko.com. Like, I've never seen a Funko with so much wordage
stuff
on it. It usually says nothing on them. Oh, you know, I guess that's a lie. Have they just now started doing this?
Got to consult older ones
No.
for sample size.
I guess they've always been doing it. At least since 2018.
How dare you not carefully observe the underside of
Jeez.
your Funko Pops?
I guess they've been doing this forever. Never mind then, you know. I shouldn't complain.
Now, Ozai had a bigger platform to ride on, though. They had more room there.
Yeah, it was pretty huge. I'm not gonna lie. See, where's my oldest pop? I wonder to say on that.
Well,
My Batman pop is the oldest one.
You know your first pop?
Oh yeah, Melora. I don't know if you know Melora from yeah, she got me for me on a Secret Santa. It was just a random one right here, just a random gift. I was like, oh, I like that.
That's super appropriate.
And then that it took off from there. Yeah, so they even put on this one, you know. This was in 2010. Holy crap!
That's pretty exciting, Chris. You learned something new today.
I know, right?
Melora worked at my wife's company before my wife did, like the company my work's at now, and before Melora worked at Payless. Wait, I might be doing that. No, I'm thinking of the wrong person, but I know who Melora is still.
All right.
And, you know, just for, I don't know why I'm bringing this up other than that Chris and I are analysts by trade. We had like an entire conversation about the future of Funko one day. Chris, I also remember my first Funko Pop because I owned two of them. And one is a Harry Potter Funko Pop from our friend Roberto that I got in, you know, maybe 2015, something like that. I don't know if it was new in 2015. It's just when I got it. And then over there, I've got a Zuko from you. I don't know where, actually don't know where Harry Potter's at, but I know where Zuko's at because he's a bookend for the two Kyoshi books. Holds them up very nicely. That's my Funko Pop. Also, I found the website. It's literally gamershq.com, and they'll ship anywhere. And it looks like you can still grab some free credit for your first sign up, like $10 credit off a $50 purchase or something like that. Gamershq.com.
Good people there.
Yeah, a lot of small businesses.
Maybe they should sponsor us.
They haven't. They've never like explicitly sponsored me, but every time I put on any kind of charity thing, they just come out of the woodwork with all sorts of weird stuff. They'll be like, "Here's a gift certificate. Here's some T-shirts. Here's some like."
I got the last gift certificate.
The last set of prize polls was like the most appropriate, like that it could have possibly been in terms of who went where and what. It was extremely excellent, and it wasn't rigged because people picked their prizes. I should point that out. People picked it. It's not like I was like, Chris needs this. So yeah, they always come out of the woodwork, like not sponsoring the show explicitly, but anytime I do anything remotely charitable, they're always major players. Very grateful for that. Other merch, other news?
Oh, nope, that is it.
Did I interrupt you when you were telling me how your week was to ask you to show us your toilet?
Nope.
Did you explain further?
Not my week. Nope, that was it. I was on my week.
Ah, excellent. Well, in that case, let's go. Let's jump into the episode and let's see how I did the PowerPoint a little different this week. I'm gonna see if I know how to touch the buttons. I think I do. I have to do this. Yeah. All right, party. Oh, hey, that's fun. I didn't mean to go that direction though. Oh, don't look. Oh God, I started on the wrong side. I started on the wrong side. I'm so embarrassed. Oh, you can click through? Wow. Okay. Hey, learning new features today. How about that? It's like we just watched it fast, like rewind the whole thing. Let's go to the episode now. So ready.
Okay, so the Earth Queen, they go to Ba Sing Se to find some more airbenders. What happened then? They get there. Kai goes missing, of course, and Mako and Bolin has to go find him. And so there's an A B plot. The B plot is Mako and Bolin going to go find Kai, and he gets away from them, and they end up in a lower ring. And one of the things we first see when we get to Ba Sing Se is just how the class system has really gotten worse since the the Aang gang were there, and just worse and worse. And so Mako and Bolin, they get trapped all the way in lower ring and they can't get up any higher because they're poor. And and I love there's there's definitely a plot conveniences going on here. Some strong plot conveniences. Like
Lo-
Bossing say
Love that phrase.
is is the size of Beijing probably.
That seems like a fair comparison.
Yeah. And they get lost and they're at a fruit stand and they're considering stealing some fruit. Well, no, Bolin is like, hey, we should steal this fruit. We should do this scam again. And the guy there is like, you trying to steal my fruit? And then Michael's like, I'm not trying to steal your fruit. Why not? It's good fruit. And then Bolin's like, so are we stealing the fruit or not? And then the guy attacks him. And then it turns out that that's their cousin.
The best part of that whole sequence is like he's got him sort of in his arms, and his dad shows up and is like, "These guys were." I now I forgot whatever he says there is like, "These guys weren't gonna steal our fruit, or weren't good enough to steal our fruit, or something."
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
and just whatever he pitches to his dad there before the big
Yeah.
reveal.
Yep. Uh, and then they find out that so they go and meet their grandma, which I love this moment a lot. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Finding Fish. I've brought it up before because it's a really great movie. Finding Fish is about it's a true story. It's an adaptation of a book called Finding Fish. It's about Antoine Fisher. Oh, I'm sorry. The movie's called Antoine Fisher. The book is called Finding Fish. He wrote it. He was an orphan,
So it's the chess
and
guy.
he,
Is
no,
it a
I don't
chess
think so.
movie, or is it not a chess movie?
No,
Well,
not a
then
chess
it's not
movie
the
at
chess
all.
guy. Different name. My
Okay,
bad.
I was like, maybe he played chess.
My bad, movie buffs. I ruined it.
I remember his best skill being they could cut hair in the book. I don't remember chess that
Oh.
much, but um, anyway, it's about an orphan and just about his life and stuff, things he's gone through. And there's a really great scene in it where he confronts. He was abused by his foster mother in many different ways, and there's a scene in there that he's grown up and everything. He's moved out. He's made something of himself. And he goes and confronts her. He's like, "You couldn't break me. Like you thought you could break me. You couldn't break me. Like I'm still standing. I'm still here." And that scene reminds me. I brought that up before because that scene reminds me of Zuko confronting his father. Like I I learned everything. I did it on my own. Like you were cruel. Like those two scenes are just always come to mind when I think about people getting their uh, comeuppance and going against their oppressor. Another scene that reminds me of the scene with Michael and Bolin is that at the end of the film, um, he finally finds like his father. He didn't even know who his father was, but then he finally finds out his father died like when before he was born, but he actually had family, and like he goes and meet them, and it's like a huge like they've made him like this big feast. And he meets all his family. So this scene reminds me of that.
It's really adorable scene too when they figure it out. I mean, I guess it's kind of split up, but when they figure it out and brings them inside to meet Grandma, and just gets my
Yeah,
warm fuzzies all moving.
yeah, and I think this is the best I think character work that Mako went through. But I feel like they really should have leaned in. I think on Mako's character development and focusing on the parents died aspect of it. And I've said this before, like make him more of the Batman-esque, but more balanced character.
Mhm.
Like make him not more brooding, but more like this this not small thing, sorry. This thing that happened in my life, this tragedy has heavily impacted everything in my life and the way that I am and the way that I act and my missions and goals and everything. And my
Like your
and so I think that
number
would help the
one
character.
pervasive lifetime influence.
Yes, yeah. And this would have been a great cap in to that journey or to that arc that okay, he finally found family. He's ready to let part of that pain go, and that comes in when he gives the grandma the red scarf. So I love this.
It's
I wish
already
they would
pretty
have.
emotional, but yeah, that would have hit
Yeah.
extra hard, and they leaned into that harder earlier, like before.
Yes. Yeah. No, I think that was some really great stuff, especially when like she finds out that her son died, and there was some family issues there, which I think is really realistic, which I think Legend of Korra does often is they paint realistic depictions of families and how families aren't all just you know sunshine and rainbows. But so that's the B plot. Actually, I'm sorry.
They don't find Kai in this one.
They
There's
don't. No.
no B plot resolution here.
Nope. Which that's interesting about this season, kind of in general. There's a lot of episodes that just go together. I feel like every two episodes just go together, and they could have all been two-part episodes.
I've been Netflixing them too, and so when you cut out the intro and stuff in between them, I mean, there's almost no distinction when you're watching as to where it actually cut off. Like, I didn't realize until the episode after the one that we'll review next, so it'd be like 5. Like, I didn't even realize I was on the next episode until I saw the statue of Toph, and it just kind of hit me. I was like, wait a minute. I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah, so the first 2 episodes take place in Republic City. No, they don't. I'm sorry. But anyway, these 2 take place in Ba Say. The next 2 takes place in the Metal Clan, and then
the first 2 could still
Shafu.
Be set apart.
They could.
They
I
would
think so.
fit fine. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, so that's the Mako Bolin storyline of it. And then there's the whole Kai is missing thing, and he's getting into trouble. Well, he's living a life of luxury.
Being a little scamp.
Yeah. Which is I don't have any story issues with that, especially.
I mean, I don't like that Kai's a little douchebag, but
I mean, hey, Toph, Sokka, and Aang were like stealing from people in that episode. They weren't much better. Just because they're stealing from the Fire Nation doesn't make it any better.
Yeah, I mean, they were.
And they probably stole more money, if I had to guess. Like they accrued a lot of money. So.
So, but Chris, are you counting inflation? Because then definitely.
That's true.
I don't know what inflation's like in
they set that money aside, and it's been growing, compounding interest year after year.
And
I mean, it's been 70 years.
They're going to donate it to a charity because it was stolen.
Well, if they invested into anywhere in Republic City, like just a small startup, when the city was first formed, that city is probably a major. Actually,
I mean, provided you get the money out before the vines come, sure.
In the comics, Toph actually was like part owner of this company called like Fire Earth Industries, something like that.
Toph doesn't strike me as a businesswoman.
She's a entrepreneur. She's everything. She's a BA. She's a teacher. She runs a school. She has a business. She does work with the police.
Then she dumps it all to go live in a swamp.
Right? That's what happens, I guess. So that's so then Kai gets caught by the Dai Li, and that's sorry, I'm going way to the end of the episode, but this is the part of the plot.
Like BC kind of plot. It's still B plot.
Yeah. Then so then he gets caught by the Dai Li. He's like, you're gonna be in the welcome to Her Majesty's army. Oh, because then Mako Bolin were talking to their family, and they were saying that airbenders have been going missing. And then Korra, man, there's a lot of like none of the plots I feel like in this episode are outstanding as the A plot.
They don't.
I mean, they're all good.
They're all good. Resolve particularly.
They don't. Yeah.
Well. Or they're not gratifying, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's why these 2 episodes go well with each other. Like, there's no 3-part structure to this episode.
Mm-hmm.
But Korra,
at least we learn a lot in this episode. Like, not to jump too far ahead and get in the next, but this episode is very like revealing in an interesting way. It has that going for it. Whereas the next one, I don't quite feel the same way.
Yeah. So on the Korra plot, Korra's like, all right, I'll go meet with the Earth Queen, and this reminds me, her meeting Earth Queen, like when she meets Earth Queen's like, oh, so the Avatar finally graces me with her presence. Like, it reminds me of like, in Rise of Kyoshi, just how much good fortune can, not just good fortune, but good relationships and stuff, how much those things were important, and and uh and the way appearances and stuff, how much like just politics there was in the Avatar, who trained the Avatar, who the Avatar meet, who talked to who, how was things presented.
All that
Like it's
boring
such a,
politics garbage.
yeah, exactly. But it reminded me of that Rise of Kyoshi stuff. And Earth Queen, yeah, she's I don't like to curse, but she is what she is.
She's a terrible lady.
Um, I mean, I don't care if you curse, Shawn. I just don't. I just don't curse.
She's a bitch.
Uh,
And so last in Avatar, the Last Airbender, we were kind of making some, I would say, not scathing accusations, but more like metaphorical comparisons of Fire Nation to the United States.
yeah.
And I wonder if there's like a specific cultural inspiration for the Earth Queen, or if it's just like,
Hmm.
if it's just sort of imperialist in general, and that would be plenty. There's plenty to go off of in history.
Um.
But I was just curious if it had like a
She,
specific inspiration.
there was specific inspiration. I just watched commentary. I don't remember who it was. I wish I could tell you. But there was a very specific inspiration on the Earth
Yeah.
Queen.
Not, it seems like there was like a direct something behind it to build off of. But even if there's not, you're allowed to metaphorically chastise imperialism if you want in your fiction. That's fine.
Yeah. So on the other side of the plot, we have Fire Lord Zuko going to the North
Oh, I even
Pole.
forgot about this part.
All right, this is one of my favorite Avatar
I
moments
didn't even
of
put it
all
in there.
time. That's okay. It's a pretty small part. So he goes to North Pole with Tonraq, Korra's father, and they meet with Escondesna, the co-chiefs of the Northern Water Tribe, and he tells her like, "You have a prisoner in the Western Tundra that we have to go make sure she's still there." And so as they get there, they're going down the elevator, and it's awkward because elevators are inherently awkward.
Mm-hmm.
um, and so Zuko is telling them about, it's like, she's a combustion bender who can, make explosives with her mind. Ironic enough, I hired a person with the same skills to kill the Avatar. And like, everyone, it's just a little pause, and it's like, well, it didn't work. And then Eska is saying like, don't feel bad. I tried to kill Korra when she ruined my wedding. Things happen. And Tonraq seems at this point like very frustrated. He's like, just focus and or whatever.
This is another part that like they didn't know that this prison was there, and I'm still upset that like Zahir and the Red Lotus know where this prison is, or that did you tell me they could communicate in the spirit world, the four of them, or is it only Zahir that can go into the spirit world? Or
So I assume only here of those four can go in the spirit world, but I assume other members of the Red Lotus can go to the spirit world because Aiwei coming up, he can go into the spirit world. And so I think they probably had at least, 6 or so people, for communication purposes.
I guess I want to know who the inside man in the White Lotus is who's giving away these prison locations. I want to
There
see that guy
probably is
punished.
there probably is a person on the
Gotta
inside.
be. What are you paying him? We'll double it to keep it secret. Come on, man.
Yeah. Um. Oh, and then so back to Korra. Korra was doing. No, I have it on the screen. It just remind me of stuff. Korra had to do a favor for the Earth Queen, so she went to go pick up her tats collections and protect them. She gets in a fight with some very Mad Max Fury
Yeah, it's
Road
straight up
gangster
Mad
type of
Max.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
kind of
that was a
crazy.
little fighting scene there, I think.
It's very short, but it's good. Like for
Yeah,
fight, like a whole gang of them versus just her and Asami, but it's over pretty quick.
yeah. And then I like how they don't really seem uh worried that worried. Like they did say like, oh, maybe we should have brought the people, but when they started to fight, they're just like, yeah, we got
Yeah,
this. This is nothing.
not dealing with
Yeah.
the top brass of the Mad Max bandits.
Yeah. And I have noticed in these episodes, I think Korra is far more restrained than she was in previous seasons because she doesn't use firebending as much. And there's an interesting thing about firebending that firebenders I feel like are so reluctant to bend because fire causes very heavy damage and is a little bit more
In the world
deadly,
of
like
D&D, it's like
small.
they want it in D&D terms it'd be like they want to deal blunt damage, not fire damage.
Yeah, like a little bit of firebending can can wreak havoc. Like a little bit of earth bending, like just to ward someone off, is nothing. Airbending is just like whatever. Like when Mako is chasing Kai and Kai like airbends him in the airway in the train, that that doesn't hurt anybody. He just blew him away. But if Mako was like, "Oh, I'm gonna catch you," and firebends, like you just tried to kill me, and he's like, "No, no, no, I was doing the same thing you did. You know, same
I'm
force and
just
everything."
helping.
No,
I'm just de-escalating, but with fire. Wait a minute.
yeah,
Hold on. Let me run that sentence back in my head. See, I
yeah,
think that's one of the things I would be an earthbender because so many like good de-escalation techniques in fight come to mind where like I wouldn't have to fight. I just trap them in a box. Honestly, what are they gonna do? Earthbend out? Wait, they would earthbend out. Okay, so against other non-earthbenders, I think I would be an earthbender.
was there anything else I want to mention about the episode?
Is the line in this episode where the bandits are driving away and they're like, "You're on the wrong side of this fight,
Yes.
Avatar," and it's like,
Yep.
well, I get the feeling they're right. Just it's not like earth shattering or anything, but thought provoking, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah. It's supposed
Like
to
we
already.
already know the Earth Queen is bad, so it's not a surprise to us. But it's starting to dawn a little more heavily on
Yeah.
Korra.
Oh, and there was an interesting thing she mentioned when she met Korra. She was like, um, I didn't meet the last Avatar. Or she said something to the sense of like, I didn't like the last Avatar. Like him and Fire Lord Zuko took it upon themselves to take Earth Kingdom territory for themselves. Like she's like, United Republic is part of the Earth Kingdom, which which is a good way to I think start building up season 4. Because you get in your head like, yeah, United Republic is part of the Earth Kingdom.
Yeah, lady, we get it. And then tying in some of those old comic book stories too, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, and then episode ends with Kai getting captured. I don't think there's let's see.
Do they actually get down into the prison yet, White Lotus, or
No.
is that next episode when they actually talk to? I think it's next episode to Peli.
Pali.
I don't know, sorry, Peli. I can do this.
Yeah.
I butcher more names on the show than I get right. Okay, let's go do some ratings.
Yeah.
And just one change here is I think the ratings are all going to show up at once, so it's not going to be a very good surprise. But hey, Chris, here's your ratings
Oh
first.
gosh.
I know it really
No,
took
I
away
still would
some.
have. But no, I'm fine with this. Why did I have stories so higher? I forgot why. Oh, never mind. Audiovisual, an 8. I thought the Korra and Asami versus Bikers fight was really great. And then there's a couple of different other little action scenes there I thought was good. So story, 8.5. Thing that took this over top was the Mako and Bolin stuff. I think there's some really strong character piece done there. Really would like to see more of that. And memorable, an 8. Oh wait. Nah, okay. Even though that's one of my favorite lines in Avatar, I would still give it a say because it's a very much a kind of a setup kind of episode. Um, but it's a great episode. So it comes out to an 8.3 out of 10.
I was fairly similar, just a smidge lower. Audiovisual, outside of that very short fight scene. And there's a couple of cool spots where, like when Bolin and Mako wake up on the ground, and they walk into the street, and you can kind of see down the street, and there's a really cool visual there for a second. But not a whole lot out of the ordinary or too interesting. A lot of dialogue, I guess, in this one. But that being said, story I did 8.5 because I felt like there's a lot of very revealing things. As we mentioned, we moved along like 3 or 3.5 plot lines, which is pretty exciting. In pretty exciting directions. So it wasn't like a good self-contained story, but we got a lot of things set in motion. Memorable. I wouldn't have remembered that line was in this episode. I could have just easily, thought it was in the next one or whatever. And so I thought about going a little bit lower on memorable, even just because nothing really jumps out. But then I was thinking about Bolin and Mako and their family and the fruit stand line and all that stuff. But whatever, it's a fine episode. I don't think it's great or anything, but 7.9. Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Respectable 8.1. And that is Legend of Korra Book 3, Change, Chapter 3, The Earth Queen.
It is nice just being back in like the throne room of Ba Sing Se, right? Because the last time we were there, Azula was sitting on the throne. Just kind of interesting just to see. Like, it's the same as that throne room. Like, nothing changed with it. Like, it's exactly the same. Which I mentioned in the commentary, like, they went back and some of it was somewhat easy because they've already designed a lot of these things and they can kind of reuse some aspects of it.
No shame there. Save a few bucks, get things out faster. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
HD them up. I don't know how you do that, but HD them up. Right, because original DVDs, SD, original SD, Korra HD.
Standard, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Korra Standard HD, definitely, yeah. Yeah, the Blu-rays are beautiful, even compared to the Avatar Blu-rays.
Whereas I think the Avatar, mine are still like 4x3, even the DVD, let me take that back. They're not 4x3, but like all the images and stuff that we use, from like the Avatar wiki, those are all 4x3 for Avatar and 16x9 for Korra. So,
yep.
For whatever that's worth. But
man, that was a weird time. You remember that transition?
And everybody's like, "Is my TV gonna work?" And we were like,
"I know."
I mean, kinda. So much panic among so many upper middle-aged people at that time. They're like, "We made it through the year 2000, and now I gotta buy a different TV."
Yeah.
They were so concerned. My favorite thing that happened during that time, or at least like my most memorable, is that like one night on the Letterman show, it was like shortly after they went to. I used to have a weird thing for the Letterman show or just late night TV in general because I like that kind of comedy. And one night after they went to HD, is like, listen, I know I can tell you're adapting to it already, but you don't remember how bad that we had it before because you just didn't know any better. But here, watch this. We're gonna go back to SD right now. And so they went back to SD. It's like a fuzzy, just a blurry like mess of garbage.
That's funny.
And they like even like the audio fuzz and everything. It's like, so you can't even hear it. See how bad it was? And you just say, and then he went back to HD. It's like, wow, that's incredible. And I was like, that is a joke that's only funny right exactly now. Remember thinking to myself, that's topical humor. And hey, that's what I got for the Earth Queen. You got any final thoughts on Earth Queen?
Nope.
I don't like her. Just one more comment. I don't like her little helper dude. Because
you know what's interesting is that he I learned the commentary. He has the same role that Long Feng had, but it's interesting to see the complete.
He doesn't have the. I can't think of her name now.
Judy.
He's not Judy.
No, he is Long Fei.
Oh, well, I guess he's better than Long Fei. Yeah. No, I think that was one that was sort of trying to be funny, and it felt a little bit forced. But I know he's a nervous, awkward little fella.
I do like the line of like, and the queen eats first. Well, actually, I eat first because I'm a taster. Well, then I eat, then she eats, then you can eat.
In fact, just don't eat at all.
Yeah, just don't eat.
No other comments. They really do blend together, and even we mentioned him coming in twos, but like I said, if you're watching on Netflix, this season is such a good thorough arc across the whole season. I don't know how long it'll take me to notice it from time to time, where I'm picking up, where I'm leaving off episode wise. It just rolls together, but in a good way. It's very seamless, and it needs to just be watched together. What is this season? Is this 13 episodes or 12?
I believe it is
13 times 22. So what is that? 260. So it's about 280. It's less than 290 minutes. So
8,
it's like
9,
less than 5 hours.
10, 11, 12,
So just sit down on a weekend
13.
and just binge this whole season in less than 5 hours. Just
Yeah, it's 13 episodes.
13 eps, 22, 23 minutes pop. Just sit down, get your favorite beverage of choice, and just watch this whole season for 5 hours. This one is best enjoyed in an arc, in a singular.
Yeah. This season probably made the best movie of any of the seasons because it's fairly. I think you could cut out a couple things and kind of go.
Oh yeah. I mean,
you
these two would be prime
2 hours
culprits
and
for
10 minutes.
like. Maybe these two would be prime culprits for at least getting some trimming and really just getting out of the missing Airbender plot.
Yeah, I think you could fit the story in there.
If you made it to a movie, I don't even think you need the Korra tax help storyline quite as much. You just Kai get kidnapped and then be like, nope, no Airbenders here, sorry.
Yeah.
And then we can't go yet, we got to look for Kai. Boom. 1 episode down. But this one or the first one, season 1 of Korra would both make really good movies, I think.
Season 1 of Korra would do good movies. Season 2 is kind of you just have to do some rewriting with season 2. Season 4 is a little longer. I don't know. I think a lot of season of Korra could.
I mean,
a lot more easily
they have the
fit
benefit
into,
of standing alone as opposed to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like Avatar. No, you need I think at least 5 movies if you're gonna do movies.
This one, I would say this one or season 1, maybe. I don't know. I think it'd be really hard to enjoy season 4 as a movie without the context of all the other seasons of knowledge and previous Korra experience and build up. But this, I feel like you'd turn this into a movie just by itself, and people could go in and enjoy it with no prior experience.
Maybe. I was going with the assumption that these were like part of a quadrilogy.
Well, most people still would, but yeah. They make a trilogy out of 4 seasons, and they just skip season 2.
No, Shawn, can't skip season 2.
Makes me think of the very last episode of Community where Ken Jeong like farts when they say season 4. Inside joke.
I think I like season 4 enough. I don't know. I honestly haven't rewatched it all that much. I need to rewatch.
I mean, it's not as good, but it's fine. I have no issues with it. I have no more issues with it than I do with like 5 or 6, honestly. So, nope, 1, 2, or 3. That's where I live. Community seasons 1, 2, 3. Makes me want to go to community college for exactly 3 years and try to recreate those experiences.
I don't think that's how community college is. I don't think they really have dorms and stuff.
Really is not. My wife's gonna be very upset when I move into a dorm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've overstayed our welcome on this episode. Let's get out of here. We're talking about community college and Dan Harmon and stuff. And hey, Chris, thanks for showing us your bathroom. That was very exciting. It looks nice. I have no home repair skills whatsoever, and your bathroom looks like it's coming along great. And
so got more stuff. I need to work on the fence this weekend.
That it's gonna be too hot. Don't do that this weekend. Do it later during the winter. This has been Avatar: The Last Podcasters. My name's Shawn. That's Chris Ford, aka The Objective Geek of YouTube and Twitter. I'll put lots of contact stuff down in the description, so I don't have to say it out loud and incorrectly. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you next week with Chapter 4. I think I beat you. Oh, I forgot to mute myself. Now everybody's going to hear me talking to myself. Oh, no. I swear I'm not talking to myself. All right, I'm going to mute now.